Good evening, everybody. It's Nick, and it is Wednesday night. We have a little bit of a Wednesday night special for you. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody out of the waiting room and into our main room. So just wait 1 second for me. Oh my gosh, guys, we have a lot of you coming in. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone on the way in. You guys can unmute yourselves later if you would like. I'm going to make sure that everyone can get in the room before we get started. We have a lot of you on this, and it's wonderful that you guys are willing to take the time out of your evening and get into some training with us. So again, you are all muted on the way in. We're going to get rid of the waiting room. That way everybody can get in here. Let's make sure that everyone's in that needs to get in. Wow, wonderful turnout, guys. So I think it did help that we sent some reminders out to some of you today. Again, this is being recorded. So if you have a friend that missed it, if you want to play it back again later, any of that stuff, we're going to go ahead and record this, put this right out onto the internet. We're actually going to have it not only just in our office group, but depending on how the conversation goes, I think we're going to go ahead and play it for the public so you can share it with your realtor friends and keep it for other people that you may want to help out that may want to come to Exit. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's get going right here. It is 8:01. We're going to go ahead and dive right in. Let's talk real quick about history before we go anywhere else. I do want to go into kind of the history of where we have been and where we are going in terms of Exit Strategies' overall vision for you. We have done business planning in the past. We started out doing it, I think, in 2011, 2012, so way before most of you were here, although we do have some people that have been here a decade or more. When we started out, we had a list that we came together and we built, and it was a top 25 list. And it was the top 25 things top producers do. And we wanted you to pick 5 to 7 of those things to implement in your business. And we would do this in January. Now, any of you that know me now know that we've kind of woken up and had a light bulb go off that says that if you are starting to put your plan together in January, realistically, you're not going to be getting results for that plan until March or April. Because how long does it take you to get a client? 30, 60 days. How long does it take that client to close? 30, 60, 90 plus days. So we've got to go all the way back into, I would say, October and really start focusing on in October. But a few of you that I've been coaching with in August have told me, your business plan is so old, it's from pre-COVID, or your business plan has changed because of COVID. And what does that mean for you now that you've asked me to go ahead and do this in September? So here we are, September 1st, 2021. And if you are feeling like you are kind of drinking out of a fire hose, whether that's because there's a lot of coaching at Exit or because you feel like there's just so much going on in your personal world, I want to give you a story real quick here to start. This is the cheesiest thing. I just got in the mail. I came home. I had a final, not even a final walkthrough, a walkthrough with a client. He wanted to show his dad a multi-unit he was buying because his dad's going to live there with him. And I came back and I looked down at the entryway to my building, and there was this shirt wrapped up. It's a Peloton shirt. And I thought, well, that's cool. That was my Century Club shirt from Peloton. And I unwrapped it and I thought, well, I'll put this on tomorrow. And then I thought, wow, this is actually kind of relevant to what we're talking about, because I actually wanted a Peloton in 2020. I ordered it October of 2020. I mapped out how I was going to hit 100 rides and get this stupid t-shirt by the end of 2020. And then you know what happened? Life got in the way. I just got this t-shirt now because if you guys follow me on the Apple Watch and vice versa, I track some of you and you track me. I'd love for you if you're not already doing that. Even if you're not at Exit, I think we have one guest on here that, you know, we follow each other. We get to see each other because you get to see each other's activities and it's fun. You may know that I just hit 100 rides. Well, what happened? What happened? Life happened. The bike got back ordered. The bike didn't come. Then the bike allegedly came and I missed the delivery. I don't know if I ever believed that. The bike didn't even show up until January of this year. So guess what? I missed my goal. My plan, my grand plan was shot. And then the bike sat there and I started to ride it and I liked it. It was pretty cool. And then it got warm out and I stopped riding the bike and I started running outside, which is good. Okay, right, it's good, but it didn't get me the stupid t-shirt, didn't get me the 100 rides. Then Barry's boot camp opened back up. You guys, some of you have been in Barry's boot camp with me, you know how much I love it. Then I got further distracted. And all of a sudden, I looked at that bike that, of course, I've now paid for, and it's not cheap, and there's a monthly subscription and all this junk. And I realized I never went back to my business plan, my fitness plan. So I accidentally told you where I was going with this. How many of you made a grand plan, had thoughts that you were going to get a certificate or a t-shirt or a pat on the back from me, or probably what you really wanted was 100% commission by getting it to 100,000 GCI and capping out for the year, because that's what we all should want, right? Even if you're part-time, we got part-timers like Nicole Wheatley that's got a whole nother job, whole nother business. She's hitting 100,000 every year. You can do that. But sometimes what happens is you have these grand plans, 100 rides in 100 days, or whatever was on your personal plan, your business plan, and then the bike doesn't come. You miss the delivery date. Whatever is your excuse for what happened on your business plan before, let's wash our hands of that and let's go to our big screen. So I'm already on it with you, so you've had to sit there and stare at this. In 2011, when we started doing business plans in January of that year, shame on us, shame on me for being the coach and not realizing how far back you had to start working on these. Because again, like our t-shirt example, life will get in the way. We now are up to 55 things. So over the years, it went from 25 to 30 to 35 to 40. Then it was 50. Now all of a sudden it's at 55 things. This document will only be shared for exit strategy agents. So if you're not with us, maybe you can sit here and stop it online and watch it and all that kind of good stuff. Some of the things we mentioned tonight will be a tool that only our office has, but you know what? We're here to help everybody. So even if you don't have this tool, I bet you can find a version of it to pay for. Every single thing on here, with the exception of like Zillow that you're going to pay for on your own, everything else here is either paid for by the office, or I can coach you on how to do it and maybe get a lender to co-sponsor you on it. All right. So we're going to go through this list. But before we do, it's important to kind of bookmark where you're at. How was your 2021? I almost said 2020. So how was your 2020? Hopefully it was good. Your 2021, I will bet you for most of us has been better. Now, there are a few people that just, again, t-shirt example, life got in the way this year. And this year, I do want to acknowledge it's been tough for buyer's agents. Part of the reason why we are urgently pushing you to get into these conversations right now, though, is because we know this market is shifting. It's shifting back to a balanced market, and it's doing so aggressively fast. So if you are on here and you're going, well, I'm great, I had the best year ever, I got money in the bank, be careful. It may not look like this in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. Showing Time has a report that shows us exactly what's going on. And I can't pull it up right now for you because I'm going to switch to a different screen, but Showing Time is showing us showings are down, way down. When you go on to CNN or ESPN, or I'm sorry, CNN or Fox News or any of those places, and you see the market reports that are out there, I'm going to go ahead and take this screen away just for a second so you can stare at me. Yuck. Sorry about that, but I do want you to focus on what I'm saying here. The market right now is shifting so quickly that what the CNN and Fox News and them will tell you is, oh my gosh, prices were up in July. The inventory was still bad in July. What Showing Time shows me, and I've sent you guys this report, I'll send it to you again. What Showing Time is showing me, inventory is up, way up, but you're not going to see the results of that until when? You're not going to hear about it from the media till November, the end of the year. Why is that? It's September. September closings are going to be reflected in a news report that comes out in November. And in the meantime, what we're looking at, or should be looking at, is what's being listed. And listings are way, way up. What's being price reduced? Lots of price reductions. And what else is happening? Showings are down, way down. Showing time shows us the showing activity report, and it has gone down, down, down since June. So if you feel like since Memorial Day there's been a shift, or more noticeably since August there's been a shift, you are not alone. So what do we have to do? We have to go back to our business plan. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to show you my 2021 business plan, and I want to explain to you the format of it. This is a real business plan. What's not a business plan? God bless some of our competitors, but what they do is they tell you, well, if you want $100,000 in income and you divide that by your average commission of $5,000, that means you have to have how many closings? 20 closings. That's your business plan. That's not a business plan. That's math. That's arithmetic. Here's my problem with what I call the budget method, is that I don't know where my next phone call is going to come from. I have clients that need $100,000 property. One of my closings this year was under $100,000 and actually I've had 2 closings under 30,000 because I sold 2 parking spaces. Now, at the other end, I have a sale pending for 1.9 something million dollars. And I have everything in between. And you know what? The vast majority of you do too, because we live in an area that it is wildly different depending on what you're looking for and what you can afford, what the realtor commission is going to be. So don't put yourself in a box. It is foolish to do so. I have not met a single agent that can sit there and tell me, Nick, every one of my deals is over $1 million, or every one of my deals is under $100,000. If you don't like your price point, I can coach you how to change that to an extent, but I am still running around with $100,000 buyers with a smile on my face, because those people, maybe they're the entryway to the people at their company that make $1 million a year. I don't know who my next client's going to be. So don't put yourself in that box. What I do want you to do is put together a business plan like this. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see a little bit better. I want a dollar amount. Really, the only math you're going to see with me is the dollar amount. What's your mission statement? So my mission statement used to be, I want to make 100,000. Then I wanted to make 200, then 250. It took me a while for me to get from point A to point B. And there were a lot of stops in between. T-shirt example, life got in the way a lot. And it will with you too. But that's okay. That's why we're here to coach each other and create some masterminding, not just accountability, but masterminding. So my mission statement last year was 300,000. I got a little burnt out at the end of 2020. And I thought, do I really want to do that much again? And I thought to myself, well, yeah, that was actually a lot of good money, but I want to do it smarter. So this year I've taken some things off of my business plan. And for 2022, I'm going to edit it again, knowing that certain things are changing. So let's dive into that. I've been doing the same format, this outline, that if you're at our office, you will receive a copy of. And even if you're not at our office, this is really easy to copy. It's an outline. You put the year, you put your name, and then the date. And you'll notice that that was created my first one when I walked out of my management role at Keller Williams. And my last one is from last fall when we had our first 2021 business planning in October. So we're starting 6 weeks earlier this year. My mission statement for 2022, I should say, is going to change to 350. Specific objectives. Where are you going to get these specific objectives that I'm going to go over with you? You're going to get them from the top producer secrets list. There's 55 ideas for you. I would say, and I'm going to highlight this here, that you realistically should only be doing 5 to 7 of these total. When I open up some of your business plans and I see 10, 15 outline points, main points, I'm like, oh, wow. And I have never met a person that can do that, that does not burn out, that spends too much money on marketing or a team. Trust me when I say, as someone who has been doing this 23 years and failed forward, but failed a lot, do it this way that I do with the 5 to 7 specific objectives.
I'm sorry, Nick, are we supposed to see your screen?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Whoever that was, thank you very much. Let's go back to seeing my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So there are nearly 36 of you on here that are going to get, along with everybody else in our office, the top producer 55 secrets, 55 different options for you to choose the 5 to 7 from. Do not put, as I was saying before, but now visually you can see, do not put more than 5 to 7 of these on your outline. So my outline is down to 1 page because I burnt myself the heck out in the past. Yours doesn't need to be 1 page, but it only can be 5 to 7 specific objectives. You go over 7, I'm really going to push you on how you're going to implement them. So don't tell me the number of calls that you're going to get in and the average price point, because you don't know it yet. And let me show you why I say you don't know it yet. And if you do think you know your numbers, have you gone to exitrealty.com and then clicked on reports once you've signed in and then gone to your report card? Boy, there is some good information in my reports. So in your report card, you can pull up what happened in 2020. So if you're not new to Exit, look what you're going to see. You're going to see your 2020. So my 2020, I said I wanted to make 300. I made 325. Not bad. Not mad. Worked my little rear end off, and I had a small me +2, actually me +1 for most of the year, because Tabor didn't even come on board until September. We were trying to figure out today when he did. But then I said I wanted to do more this year, but I want to do it smarter. So if you want to go in and you click on my reports in the report card, you can also do it for the current year, because all of you have been here. Well, all of you that are on here that are from Exit Strategy, all of you have been here this year. It will give you your awards for the year so far. And remember, the Exit Sales Award year is from July 1st to June 30th of the next year. Right now, guys, by the way, my numbers are pretty darn good. I've already hit 300,000. I'm only number 3. There are people beating me. There are people beating you. Let's get competitive with each other, but mastermind. The two people above me, by the way, Wayne Beals and Nick Rendelman, are both happy to share with you. If you've not been on Stars of Exit yet, go to Stars of Exit. The other thing I'll suggest to you is when you go into reports and you go into your business plan, one of those 5 to 7 topics, I think should be, you don't have to do this, but I think should be, if you're at Exit, you should have some sort of recruiting opportunities there. Because look at this, if you're not making some decent money in recruiting, look what you can do in terms of numbers. So I'm going to go only to, let's do August 31st, because today's the 1st. So this year so far, I've been here a long time, but you can be here a long time too. You can make $100,000 plus. So far this year, what does that say is my net after the little fees to Exit? 126 in residuals. Guys, that's real money. What if you just did one person, brought an assistant on that was a licensed person, taught one person the business from the beginning? All of this I show you because I'm living proof that this can work for you. I came to this company with nothing in 2008, absolutely nothing, flat broke. You can do this too, but you have to have a plan. So let's go through my 5 to 7 pretty quickly, because I want you to make your own, and then we're going to go back into the top 55 items. So again, for 2022, and I'm going to go ahead and you can make this a new document. So you can make a copy of what I send you. So this is Business Plan 2022. I can't believe we're doing this so early. I'm excited. And by the way, I'm going to save all of your business plans when you share them with me in my own folder just for your business plans. So look at this, agent business plans. Not too many from last year. We're going to save everybody's together for this year. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up and redo this in its new format and its new year. So this is 2022. And then again, I'm going to put the date that I started it. And then that way, as you revise these over time, you'll see them. So I'm going to do 350 for next year. What are my specific objectives? Farming, campaign, and expireds. Now, let's be real here. I've not done a real good job with expireds and FSBOs. You can kind of print this out and do it, or you can just literally redline out the stuff that you're not going to do for next year. Maybe I'm going to sit here for now and just evaluate that by putting everything in red that I haven't really done. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see this easier at home. So expireds, FSBOs, did I do them? Not really. What did I do that worked? The just sold cards. I'm going to put that in green because, man, those were fire for me this year. Fire. Heather, maybe Cheryl, Heather's on. Heather's doing a whole campaign, a whole coaching session for you on the just sold cards. I just got another listing and I just got another listing appointment out of this. This is the value of having coaches that and masterminding top producers with you in the office. So I'm not doing the expireds. Man, I suck. I really could do them. You know what? There's only so many hours in the day. If there's stuff that's working for you already, maybe you just spend more time and effort and resources on that versus trying to go wider versus deeper. I burn myself out. Take a lesson from me. I burn myself out going too wide, both literally and figuratively. I went so far out that I had my license in Indiana, my license in Michigan. I was driving and closing deals in both. I don't know if everybody knows this yet, but some of you may have seen, I went ahead and put my Indiana and Michigan licenses in referral because I have not gone deep enough here. And every time I go deeper here, I make more money. So the just sold cards were the first evidence of that to me, that why am I driving an hour when if I did just sold cards in my neighborhood, I can walk to some of my listing appointments. And I bet you if I worked on my expired search, the one that I'm not doing, that I'm going to put in red, I bet you that I could not be driving as much anymore at all. Networking and Sphere, always a winner for me. Hopefully it's going to be a winner for you. When I say promo shop, of course, now I mean market leader. That shows you that even though this was done last year, I wasn't 100% paying attention to everything in it. Leveraged events, that obviously did not go as planned with some of our COVID stuff. But you know what? We did an event every month and we will continue to do an event every month, whether it is in person or not. Kickball. I'm going to highlight kickball. Some of you guys are in intramural sports. Every year I close deals. I dragged myself to kickball this year. I really didn't want to go, to be honest with you. I signed up for one more season this fall because it always has worked for me. What's working for you that's not your favorite thing? Keep doing it till you can find something to replace it. Did not do any Zillow this year. Definitely did Redfin. I'm gonna put that in green. That worked. If you're new, consider being a Redfin partner agent. You only need 5 closed deals to do so. If a couple of you don't understand how it works, sign up for a group coaching with me. All right, we did a lot of quarterly seminars, investor seminars, home buyer seminars. Go back and look at the YouTube. It's filled with them, and there's more to come. Those were great for my business. I built a lot of referrals within Exit, not within Exit. Some of you guys know I've got a Remax friend down in Champaign. Not trying to get her to come to Exit today. There's not even an Exit near her yet. But what I am trying to do is make sure that she knows I'm her little buddy up here and she's my little buddy down there. Wow, has that worked out for me? Where do I get those people? LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Guys, if you're not on LinkedIn, if your LinkedIn isn't exploding with content, please trust me when I tell you, I open up my LinkedIn and I get deals. Same way with Instagram. Facebook, not that great anymore, but I still get some deals. That is where I get a huge amount of my business. About 75% of my business, used to be 80%. It's gone down a little bit. 75% of my business starts with a conversation on social media. Was it people already knew? Sometimes, but not always. A lot of times it's a referral, friend of a friend, something like that. So building referrals, that social media aspect. And then my last one, I only have 6. is the passive and auxiliary income. I've really worked hard to be there for agents at other companies. You can do the same. Guys, think about how quote unquote busy that it feels like that I am. You're not maybe as busy yet. Be a resource to people. Spread the word that you can help them. Do exactly a mini version of this. Go show your business plan off. Do your own webinar. Guys, these are not hard to do, especially with Zoom. You can do this from your comfort of your home in the middle of the night. So that is my business plan. Not too much is going to change on it for next year. What I'm focused on for next year, though, is maybe working on my expired campaign, and maybe next year, no more kickball, which means I'll probably lose 2 deals. On average, a year, I get about 2 deals out of kickball. It's pretty good for intramural sports, but I can do better, and I can focus on some things that maybe will make me more money elsewhere. If you're new, or if you are not new, and this is just, you're going, oh my gosh, this is a lot. It's okay. Let me show you in each category what I expect from you. All I need, think of it like a TV reporter. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Let me say that again. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Now, the why is, well, you want more deals, right? You want to build more relationships. But every other part of that, I need to know. I need to know where. So when you say, I want to be social, I want to network, where? You know I'm going to ask you that. Where? How often? So see the word, like I say, monthly. You see the word Lakeview. That's my little neighborhood. It's pretty much the only one I focus on anymore. I'm going to give all the rest to all 76 other neighborhoods to you guys, and plus you can do Lakeview. We got plenty of business for all of us, all over the city and suburbs. Just solds. Now, I'm going to highlight that for myself because I need to do a little bit better job of explaining that. So I'm going to go back and make that a little teal for myself. Doesn't necessarily have to be the color for you, but that I think I need to explain a little better. This is it. This is what I need from you. Who, what, when, where, how, why. Again, all you need to do for the why is go back up to this dollar amount at the top. You notice that I don't have a number of transactions. It might be helpful if I said I want to do 50, I want to do 75, I want to do 25. If you're new, don't put down that you're doing 100 deals this year. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't Peloton yourself. Well, I'm going to give that a name. Do not Peloton yourself that you are going to tell me that you're going to do something 100 rides in 100 days, something ridiculous that gives you no break, no time with family, miserable. There were a couple times this past year that I go, is this even fun? I've never made that kind of money. I've never had my agent report cards look like that before, but there are times it wasn't fun. So if you didn't have fun this year, what do you need to do to build in some fun? And if you had fun, but you were broke all year, we need to go right in here into the top 55. So I don't want to read this to you because that is pretty darn boring, but I'm going to highlight a few things that I think are key. All right. And I am going to real quick see if there's any questions. See you out on the field, Taverin. Taverin, I love that you gave that link. That's amazing. If you want to do something like a kickball league, etc., can I give you some advice? Do not do it in a group with a bunch of us or other realtors. Now, Taverin and I are going to be in the same league. It is a league with 600 people in it. And I think there's 1 or 2 other of you, Avram, maybe Bo, I don't know. It's a pretty big league. There's 4 people out of 600. Don't sit there. And if Taverin and I are on the field at the same time, we don't play on the same team. The stupidest thing we could do would be standing next to each other, only hanging out with each other. You can do that another time. So some of you other friends of ours in the suburbs we see on these kickball leagues and all these other sports teams, don't do it in a big group of realtors. Go do it in a mix of strangers and a couple friends, but don't make them all realtors. All right. So speaking of referrals and all that good stuff, who are your people? Start making that list of vendors. We're going to talk about market leader in a second. Speaking of market leader, optimizing your website. I see very few of you. This is number 6. very few of you working your market leader landing pages. A lot of you saw that last Friday, I announced that I was going to renew for another 5 years with Exit and pay my franchise fees. Shouldn't have been a surprise. I love Exit, but I had a long talk with Annette Anthony, and a difference between our office and most is that we use the full market leader product. I pay for you. The reason why is, and I confirmed that at the corporate level, the landing pages, that kind of stuff just isn't really going to be a thing at this point. I don't have time to wait. I want the landing pages. A landing page is something like when you go into some of my Bitly examples, you'll see me saying, find all multi-unit buildings under $1 million. Go to this link. And magically, what does it have? All the Lakeview 3 to 4 unit buildings under $1 million. People sign in. Magically, they start to get what? They get your listings, or I'm sorry, they get all the properties in the MLS, and you get their contact information. I have video after video on this in the coaching blog. Since Tabron's on here, I'm going to pick on him for a second. Tabron is going to work with me on continuing to clean up the coaching blog and make it even more, well, I shouldn't say even more, make it easier to navigate through. But there's so much content on there, guys, about the tools that I pay for you. The market leader landing pages are so good, and we're the only office around that has them. Use those. So you're going to get this whole list. Zillow, be careful. Be careful with Zillow. That is an expensive thing. What is great that doesn't need a check or a credit card? Redfin, partner agent, or OpCity through our office. Speaking of Tabron, if you do not have OpCity yet, or you need coaching on it, if you don't have it, message me. I'll get it over to my team, aka Tabron. If you have it and you're struggling with it, I will show you, because even though I'm not accepting leads from it regularly, I keep my screens active so I can show you, as someone that has closed many deals over the time with them, that I can show you how to use it. Open houses, man, come on, guys. When I see that little sad thing from Amanda, and there's like 8 open houses. Now, this is Labor Day weekend. For those of you that are watching this later, it's Labor Day weekend coming up. I appreciate people being on this on a Wednesday night when we're all thinking about the weekend. But after this weekend, it is fall. It is time to buckle down, make some money, do an open house. Do an open house on your own listing. If you're newer, do it on someone else's listing. And right in the coaching blog, I can show you how to do an open house, share other people's listings. All of that's in the coaching blog already. And I show you live step by step, just like I'm showing you my business plan. I'm very, very transparent about what's going on in today's business, because most of these coaches ain't doing it. I sit there and I listen to some of this stuff. I'm like, this is a 5-year-old tutorial. I need today. I need what's going on today out there. Speaking of what's going on today out there, LinkedIn. I've said it once. I'm going to say it again. LinkedIn is blowing up. Instagram is blowing up. Why are we not on social media, guys? I've got it all over. You got Marky Lemons here. You got agents all at the top. Not a single one of our agents at the top don't have a social media presence. They all do. If you want to know about that, talk to Marky. They fly her all around the country and pay her from every company to teach. You want to see who's number 4, number 5 locally in Instagram and all the other content ratings? You're stuck looking at him. He's orange. It's me. So you've got some really cool speakers right here that are doing it every day. Don't tell me you don't know what to do. Sign up, get in a small group with me, and let's do it together. Work your rental leads, guys. The rentals turn into buyers. I have several that have turned into $1 million and almost $1 million buyers, one of whom is almost a $2 million closing. And they started out as a rental lead for $1,500, a referral from a friend. Okay. I've talked about that client before. That is a true, verifiable story. Talk about inventory issues, explain they're getting better, show what's new on the market. I send you guys that list every couple of weeks of what's new in the office. We have like 40, 50 new listings every 2 weeks. There's a ton going on. So don't tell me there's nothing new. It's out there. You're just not looking hard enough. Okay. Auto prospecting searches, make sure that you're doing those for everybody. I see some people that are like manually searching or don't have your client set up on a search. That just shocks me. Send them the Home Snap app. Send them the Home Snap app. Expireds. Are you door knocking? We can get away with door knocking, at least in digital door knocking. There are people in this office. I'm not sure if Kim Tracy's on. Kim Tracy didn't even live here a year and a half ago when COVID hit. She didn't even live here. She was my last interview before we closed down for COVID. And I stupidly said, don't worry about being new to Illinois and not knowing anyone. And don't worry about being new to real estate. You can just door knock. And for a long time, we couldn't door knock. You've still got some time to door knock before it gets cold. Wear a mask, go out and drop some flyers off. Guys, you can still door knock and you can digitally door knock this winter, but time is a wasting. Time is a wasting. Your 2022 starts now. We already talked about networking, investors, your past clients, item 24. Guys, are you not talking to them? I bust some of you on this. If I go into your market leader, now you own your market leader CRM. I pay for it. You own who's in here. These are your people, not mine. But if you let you share your screen, you can go into your market leader and show me your screen like I'm showing you mine right now. If I open yours up or you open yours up for me and it says contact 00000 all the way across these boards, that tells me you have not done the work to talk to past clients, current clients. You don't know what's going on in your business. Okay. I don't need you to have 10,000 people in this thing. There's a couple of us that do. Clap for ourselves. It's not that great. If you have at least 500 people, I can show you how to work it. If you've got 50 people in your market leader, man, the yellow flag, the caution flag is going off in my mind, and it may be red soon. You have got to get more people in your market leader. It syncs right up to your phone. You can download it from LinkedIn. There's no excuse, guys. Every time, every weekend that you're sitting at home, you could be doing a open house and 1 to 2 new bodies. I've sold houses that open house. Letitia, I know, is on here. Letitia sold one of my listings, represented the buyer. She sat my open houses for me, busted her butt, but that's where she got it. So guys, do the open houses, do the networking, and please, please, please get these people into your market leader. Okay, get these people in your market leader. What else? Meetup.com. I haven't really been on there in a while. A couple of you have been working that angle. Be careful with how much time you spend online, but you guys got to be doing something. Video. But you know I love video. I also really like Facebook Live. There's some stuff right here at the end of this list I'm going to talk about with Facebook Live. Items 41 and 42. And when you're at your open house, bring a lender friend, kill the time together. Don't do a 3-hour open house. Do a 1-hour open house. I'm doing power hours. Okay. Go online, figure out what needs to be done, set up some time with me, and let's get this activity going. I do still get, even in COVID, I get business off my name badge and off my mask. Amanda can make you a mask. I think they're 12 or 15 bucks. We're back in masks, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. So guess what we have to do? Just work with it. Work with it. Brand yourself. Okay. Brand yourself. Who have you made a relationship with lately as a business owner? I'm getting more deals from my business owners because the Chamber of Commerce, even though a lot of the neighborhood ones are not really fully open yet, and they're not doing as big events as they used to yet, they're talking again. We're not shut down completely. Go knock on a neighborhood business door, make a new connection, get on their LinkedIn and vice versa. Make sure you know who the owner and the managers are. Start talking to them. Ask for their business. 411, we have it every week. I would love to see more of you guys going to that. I will be there next week, even though we'll all be, fresh or not fresh from our Labor Day weekend. Get to 411. Let's get together on that and figure out what we need to do together. 12-month marketing calendar. It exists. We're working it. Every month on the 10th, your newsletter goes out. That is your baseline. And before the 10th, I'm going to have an event for you and a graphic and an Eventbrite and a text code to get in your newsletter so that at the end of that month, you have a reason to follow up as well. All right. I can go on and on and on all night. I want to end with item 55. It is master your VIP, your past clients, and a letter of the heart 2 to 4 times a year. I'm not even going to say the word EOS, evidence of success, yet, because I'm not doing them as much as I should either. Amanda knows how to do them. She's done them for some of you. You've done a better job than me on those. But I've done a very good job of letter of the heart. It has positively affected my business. If you don't know what one is, I have a sample for you. Guess where? The coaching blog. That is it from me. I want to see what questions you have. Feel free to open up your audio if you'd like. I'm going to turn this back over into my video. Tabron, thank you for reminding everyone the email address. And let's see if there are any questions or comments this evening. Look at all these wonderful folks on here. Guys, you got some top producers on here too. Nicole Wheatley, hello. Kim Tracy, we were just talking about you. Aurelis, working here from afar. I love it. Lot of really great folks on here. Mr. Price, hello, good evening. Carmen, congratulations on getting to the next level. She's now at 80%. Guys, I want all of you next year at 100%. I want you to cap. I want you to bring some other people on board. I want you to be living that amazing exit life that you can do with a better business plan and some accountability.
Nick, are you
yes, sir.
Do you track your deal? I know you do track your deals, right? Like,
absolutely. Every single deal is in my, well, first of all of us have our deals tracked for us by the report card, and then you can just go into a transaction report. Would you like me to show you where that is, Nick? Would that be helpful? All right. And then I'm going to show you what I'd like to see you do and all of us do with that. So let me go ahead and let's see here, share my screen. If you go into exitrealty.com, I'm going to do this again from the top because I didn't show you guys before where exactly it was. Yeah, so if you go into reports and then you go into transaction reports, actually I should say deal reports, you can go back to whatever time frame. So what I'd like to see you do, Mr. Price, is go from, for example, and you would do closed deals, because pending, we don't even track pending at our office. We only track closed. The reason why is I'm not going to sit there and try to figure out, is that going to close? What's going to go on? I don't know. That's where we coach together. But this is all the different, so this is my deals for the year. And what you can do is, so far I got 58 deals, not mad about it. I can print this out. And I think a few of you have seen this happen before, where I go in and print this out for you. But this is my personal screen. You can do the exact same thing by going into my reports, then deal reports, print this report out, and then to the right or to the left, whatever one you have more room, depending on how this prints out, print out how you got the deal. I was just talking about this with Tabron earlier tonight about, well, you know, where do I get each deal? I can go through and person by person tell you how I got each deal. And maybe that's a great follow-up to this, is if you guys want, I've done this before where I've just literally opened up this exact screen. So, you know, this is my friend Alex. This is a past client. This is a past client. This is all right. Remember when I talked to you about the $100,000 deals I'm doing? There's living proof. This is my friend Josh. This is the guy I was in the Tribune with about millennial buyers. 108,000. Okay, 108,000. So all of these are in here for you too. If yours is blank, get a business plan. If you want help making more money, and you already have deals that we can track, even if they weren't at exit, most decent companies will have some sort of closing report. Nick, does that answer your question?
It does. So in addition to your income of a 307 from commission from deals, you made an extra 126 from recruit.
So far. So far. So that, thank you for doing the math for everyone. But that is, and I always go back and forth of, do I tell you what I make or do I not? Most coaches are coaches because they can't make enough money as an agent, so they charge or are getting paid by the brokerage. I've always tried to keep it a little quiet, so I don't want to brag, and I'm kind of over it. So thank you for telling everyone what I made so far this year. So yeah, I'm hitting out of the park. I'm also sometimes not having fun. And I had a conversation with Tabern about this. I had a conversation with some other people about this too. I said, you know what, I'm busting my butt. I gotta have a little bit more fun. So what's not gonna happen anymore? This first deal, the reason why this is at the top is because it's not an Illinois deal, it's Indiana deal. Now it was a good amount of money, 10 grand, but Crown Point, that's an hour and 30 minutes from my house. And let me tell you, they did not look at one house. They looked at a lot. That deal nearly killed me. I'm going to be working smarter moving forward. So Nick, you are a hustler. You will, I know, work your rear end off. You've got to also eat well. You got that saying, eat well, travel well, sell a lot of real estate. You got to eat well, but you've also got to have time to travel and enjoy it. So be mindful of that when you guys put together these business plans. Yeah, I'm all about the numbers, guys. I'm not going to BS you, but I'm also not going to sit there and tell you, go work yourself into the ground, because the whole point why the residual system is there is so that, yeah, I can sit there and spend some of this money and bank the residuals. But if you don't have the residuals, guess what? You got to live and save off of your commissions, which means you've got to go back to this business plan and figure out where you can make more money. So it's a delicate balance. Do I want to make a ton of money? Heck yeah. Do I also want to have a decent life doing so? Yeah. And I did not do that math for a long time, because I don't know how long some of you have been in this business. I was in this business when I was not eating. I mean, I just was literally not making a living wage, busting my rear end and not making a living wage. You've got to make sure you cover the bases. All right. Who else?
Last question. I'm sorry. Last
That's
question.
okay.
What duties have you passed on that you no longer, want to, do yourself, just to give you more time to, to be effective?
That is a great question. By the way, I think somebody's got something ringing in the background. Please pick it up, whatever that is, or turn it off. So Nick, that is a wonderful question. And I'm happy to also maybe even do a group class with Victoria and Tabern, especially now Tabern, because he's really diving deep with me. What am I taking off my plate? I'm making sure that as I say yes to some things, that they are closer to me, that I'm not driving all the time. This morning on my Instagram and Facebook story, I have the Life Cycle app, and I shared that podcast from my master podcast list. And in it, I said, track where you're going, what you're doing. I was on the road sometimes for 4 hours a day. How the heck am I going to get home? When am I going to get home? What am I going to eat on the road? It just messed with everything. So what am I taking off my plate? I'm not selling more than an hour away from my house. I am not going to sit there and chase strangers when I haven't even done the work to talk to my past clients. That's stupid. Why am I focusing running after strangers when I haven't done the work with all my past clients? So that's where I'm saying no. You have to say no to some stuff to build to yes. But the problem is when you're a newer agent, and this isn't you, Nick, this is some of the other people on the line. When you're new, it's hard to say no to anything because you have no money. And I've been there, and I was there when I was not new, and it's not fun. But eventually, as you grow, so for the rest of you that don't know Nick Price, meet Nick Price. He's an amazing agent. His business is growing rapidly. He has to make some decisions as to where does he focus his time? Where will I not be focusing my time? Crown Point, Cicero. Where else down here that was just ridiculous? Most of these are Chicago, pretty decent. So the stuff that was going on at the beginning of the year, Oaklawn, this kind of stuff ran me ragged. For those of you that have seen that I have a different car at the beginning of the year, love my new car, didn't like the way I got it. I had a car accident. Not because I was texting and driving or doing anything dumb, but it was literally just driving for the 20th time of the week, all the way out to the suburbs to actually do one of these deals. I'm not going to highlight which one. Luckily, I didn't have clients in the car. You guys have to figure out where you can spend time and not spend time. And I'm happy to help you each individually because the answer will be different for each one of you. Great questions, Nick. And I'm happy to do more with you one-on-one or in a small group. We've got a couple questions. Actually, a comment. Nicole mentions that each year she puts down the desire in organizing a more productive team, working with all our strengths. And each year in the we say stuck in the same way of doing business. I really want training on taking our team to the next level. I would love to do that with you based on a lot of fails on my part, and maybe even have Tabron talk to you a little bit. Tabron and I have talked about just last night about, is he willing to do some coaching from his side? Because obviously something has gone right. I'm very, big into, I don't want to brag. I don't want to talk too much. And then I turn around and, this was a great year for me. I'm up 40% over last year, which was my best year on record. So something's going right. The team is obviously helping a lot. The market is contracting, so the market's helping less and less. Some of you are outpacing the market by far. And Nicole, don't beat yourself up over your team. You're doing great. Do you have some work to do with your team? Absolutely. Do I have some work to do with my team? Absolutely. We all have work to do. None of the coaches that I coach with, and remember, I'm part of core coaching, these people are doing 10 times what I'm doing. They're making $1 million a year. This 350 and 120 in residuals and whatever the number is at the end of the year, it's probably gonna be 5 and 2. That's pretty freaking amazing. They're making $3-4 million a year. This is nothing to them. They are still tweaking, fine-tuning, adjusting, not only because maybe they got stuff going wrong or their team does, but also the market shifts. So it's not always a matter of you did something wrong. It's a matter of the market changes. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to your evenings, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you, if you're at Exit Strategy, I'm going to send you Top Producer Secrets, 55 things. My business plan 2022 with the redlining, so you can get an example of what you might want to change. So not 2020, you've seen that one. 2022. And then I'm going to add a new session so that we can go over our business plans together. Okay, so stay tuned to the calendar for that. I can only send you one calendar invite in a 24-hour period. So you'll get the video from this. You'll get these two pieces right here. And separately, sometime late tomorrow, you'll get the calendar invite. But we'll go ahead and get these videos out to you by tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Wonderful attendance, wonderful discussion, great mix of people. You guys just made my night. Appreciate it very much. Have a good one.